Hi, Alex. This is Andrew, and now I'm here to share what I've learned and what I've received in our course and all of my heart feeling about my own design journal in this course. So let me first share my screen. So actually, I prefer call this creative learning design reflection to creative learning design journal because I think this is a lifelong journal for me, not only just this course. Um, and I remember at the very beginning of this semester, I introduced myself as I come from the north parts of the China, and it's pretty cold and with a lot of natural resources. And my own learning experience just only sitting in a chair and forcing to learn the knowledge that teacher teaching on the blackboard. And there is no creative thing, and there is no design in all of my learning experience since my high school and middle school. And my first definition about creative learning design is actually start from this individual project called Shanghai Story. And actually, when I'm using the soundtrack, I think the creative learning design is more about the physically input and digitally output. I started to think about which place could be the best representative of Shanghai and how can I tell this authentic Shanghai story. And I try to learning the new technique called Tascam because I really want to output the high technology and high quality of the sound. So during this whole individual project, I think the creative learning design for me is actually learn the physically knowledge and the digitally things to cooperatively make them together and then output a digital project. And when I've done this project, I think this is pretty cool because I really make a whole soundtrack to represent what does Shanghai sounds like to me. And after that journey, I started to design like what is sequence visualization because I think the attraction and the conclusion when they begin and happen at the same time. This is the real engagement for me because I'm interested in our conclusion, and this conclusion dragged me to another engagement that I designed by myself, and I actually start designing the new things that I've learned from others' conclusion, and then move to my own conclusion. And this is the first real time that I'm started thinking about, wow, creative learning design is now just we sitting in a classroom and it just change the layout, maybe put more interaction on it, but there is a real process that we learn something from another perspective. So the second part actually is about process of what I've learned from the group activity. Our partner is actually trying to design an early childhood space for the 3 to 8 years old kid and help them to integrate with the music and interact with the environment. So we generate our ideas from 12 to 4 and actually prototype two physically things into real. So I think when during this whole half semester process, actually what I've learned most is actually cooperate with others because we are from different perspective. We have different knowledge background. Some of us could coding, some of us could drawing, some of us could doing the prototyping and research. And when we trying to combine all of this output together, this is the real creative learning for us. Because when we really make a musical carpet or the sound recognition on a computer, we think, wow, creative learning is not actually a very vague concept, but we can only help us to produce a physical thing in there. And actually, I want to share two aha moments with you, or maybe more, Alex. The first aha moment actually is about Maker Faire. Because when I in that place and I really admire the students could have a broaden their horizons in very young age. Because when I was 5, I never thought about I could experience coding and 3D printing and maybe protecting robotics just in my 5 years old. And this is impossible for me. But actually when I trying to take a part in Maker Faire and introduce the new technique of what we learned and what we produced to these young kids, I was like, aha, this is a really a new experience for child, that we can create something new, different from school, but could be used in school. And my second aha moment is actually when me and my members, we are doing the project that um, after our research, we want to create a new thing that fit for kids and interact with the music. But actually, we don't know how to directly go to that stage. Like, we don't know how to code, and we don't know how to like software engineering, and so that create a application called sound recognition. But Alex, thank you so much. You just provide our a lot of different ways to how to reach that goal in with all of possibility. So I think the creative learning in this specific process or this project is not just, okay, we change another way, but provide more possibilities of there is a place, although you cannot directly reach there, but you can discover or more possibilities to reach it. And there is another important thing that I want to share is about final Lego building. Because I remember the first time I started to build Lego in this course is about a lot of walls around me, because I just received and complete a long journey about Chinese traditional education system. So for the final Lego building time, I really want to recreate a new environment of what about my own perspective about the new classroom. So I just replaced a lot of traditional layout like chairs, and even there are no teachers. So I really want to recreate an environment for the people to engaging and open their eyes and just broaden their horizons. Like there is a new circle table for every people who are trying to enter this new environment, that they can cooperate together. Because what I've learned from the group project, I think cooperation is a very important part for the people, and could gather them together when they are trying to explore a new environment. And there are a lot of interactions equipment there that we can explore by ourselves. Because I really want to provide a lot of possibilities for people to discover, instead of there is a one specific person to guiding them. So for the final Lego is actually pretty fit my own definition about creative learning design. But unfortunately, I still could not like define creative learning design in one sentence. But I think creative learning design is not only an experience, but it's like a lifelong journey. And the creative learning design includes creative learning and creative teaching. For the student's perspective, we are learning the new things, but in another way. Like we can explore ourselves and with a lot of possibilities, so that we are not only forced to learning the new knowledge, but explore our own way to produce what we receive and what we learned. And for the teacher perspective, I think their job could be provide a lot of possibilities and new ways. Just like when I trying to build a new project, but I don't know how to reach that point, the teachers could give me like more data or more resources and how to help me open my eyes. Like, oh, there is a new way that you can discover it by yourselves and finally produce a new thing. So, and I think during this whole semester, all of the members sitting in this classroom, we are showing our best part of us, and we are receiving the excellent part from others. So such of this exchange and convey the information and knowledge through all of us, no matter students or professor, is the best creative learning design. So I just mentioned before, like my most aha moment is actually about when I reflect on this creative learning. Is actually when I'm taking this course and all of the time I spending with my members and all of my classmates, sitting in this room or just another space in Shanghai or in NYU Shanghai. This is a whole long journey about creative learning design. No matter where we are, no matter what the persons we met, but the creative learning design is already in there. So no very specific definition, but it's already there. And I want to say thank you, Alex. Thank you so much for bringing me a lot of possibilities that I can discover myself, and I can find a lot of new ways to recover and receive what I've learned, and trying to recreate a new space that I can produce, and I can trying to spread all of my outcomes and what I've received from other people's. And see you around NYU Shanghai. Bye, Alex.